That takes us to our next subject, which is changing the community manager streams. Now, Frontier in their roadmap today said that they acknowledge that they need to look at how they do communication, and they need to do a better job at it. Well, let me start off with a suggestion right off the top. Why don't you entirely change up how you do community management streams? Let's be honest, and I'm not saying this to be rude or embarrassing. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be a dick, but if I wanted to see somebody play Elite Dangerous shitty, we all have people in our lives that don't play Elite and would not do a good job at it. If we wanted to see someone play badly, we could just hand the controls over to them. Community managers are not good at this game. Let's just admit that. Let's say the thing that nobody ever wants to say. They suck at this game. Okay? But that's okay. That's not their job to be good at flying a spaceship or driving an SRV. Their job is to manage a community. I don't care if you are the best pilot I don't care if you're Sanderling. If you suck at managing the team, the community, you're not a good community manager. And I don't care if you are the worst player ever. If you are, if you just die over and over exploding trying to land, if you're good at managing the community, you got my respect. I don't need you to be good at playing this game. I just need me to be good at playing this game. I need you to manage the community. So Frontier has this amazing asset of an hour to 2 hours of our time twice a week where many members of the community go and watch what they do. And more importantly, many content creators go and watch what they do. And why I say that's more importantly is because there's a lot of people that don't watch the streams, but they watch the content creators. They listen to Elite Week and they say, hey, was there anything good on the streams this week? Oh my God, they said that? Oh, you clipped it? Okay. Or they listen to Down to Earth Astronomy and, this or that? And this thing? Okay, now we know. Like, this is a useful, if you take not just the number of people that watch the stream directly, but the number of people that in some way get information directly or indirectly that could come from those streams, it encompasses most of the community. And the fact of the matter is I believe they are squandering this opportunity. This week, as an example, on Thursday, the entire community was in a tizzy where everybody is super, super emotional and charged and upset or defensive, or, I think Frontier is screwing us and I want to set fire to it all, or I think you people are bad mouthing my beloved company and I want to come at you with a baseball bat. The whole community was wrapped. And yet, what did we watch on the stream on Thursday? A couple hours of some community managers playing CQC really badly. I don't need to see people play the game shitty. That doesn't help me at all. They should take this opportunity to manage the community. Now, they could put on a stream where they pull off. They're always trying to say that their forums are not a dumpster fire. Their forums are vibrant and valid and useful and the place to go to share information. Use that. Go and show us a stream where you clip 40 or 50 different, comments or things, posts from the forums on a variety of issues that you want to highlight and give sort of your attention to, or help the community have attention to, and highlight those, talk about them. Just, you don't fly a ship. You're not good at it. Just look right at the camera and say, hey man, you're worried about this. Let's talk about it. You're thinking about, this thing or that thing. We hear you. Here's why we can't do what you want, or here's the thing we could do instead, or just anything. Or if you have to, say, well, we want to highlight the game though. We want to do a stream where people see the game. Get people that are good at the game to play it. And you, Steven's gone now. You, Zach, or you, Bruce, or you, Art, or you, Sally, or you, Paul, could sit in their second seat and give valid color commentary while somebody that knows what they're doing does amazing stuff. And you get the view. You're there. You're multi-crewed with them. You're streaming it on your screen, so it's nice and easy. Get in some elite racers. Ride with them as they fly around and hoon and do stuff. Get in some buckyballers, get in some miners, and really do an in-depth, hey man, here is the ins and outs of subsurface deposit mining. We're going to show you. And here is really some stuff you want to do with regard to trading. And here's how you use these third-party tools, or here's how you do that. There's amazing stuff you could do. The only time that it's in any way valid to see a shit player play the game is if you were like the one of the few streams that I can remember where it's like, hey man, this was really, really good, was the stream that they had on of, it was Steven and Art learning how to drive up a wall, and teaching them was Black Maze and Alec Turner. Like, okay, that's a stream where it's a good idea to have somebody that's shit at the game, because then you can have the expert teach the, let's say, less than expert player how to drive up a wall. And let me tell you something. If Steven and Art can do it, for sure we all can do it. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But in general, get good players at CQC. Get in, Get in Chig and what's that guy that everybody, what is his name? I forget. Musketeer. Get Musketeer and Chig and, Broken One and or Obi-Wan, whichever one, and like this one and that one. Get in some of the really good players. You guys have access to devs to hack their shit to where, okay, now I've got the cockpit view of Musketeer and I've got the cockpit view of Chig, and throw that up and do really insightful sort of color commentary, or have those guys out there talking and saying, yeah, here I'm making this turn, here's why, here I'm doing this, here's why, and do that. But more so, like right now, sure, everything's on fire, so you can't do it. But later on, when shit's not on fire, a year from now, when kind of things calm down, have a developer on. Pull out 30 clips, 30 things, posts from the forums of people asking, hey, I've always wondered, how come we can't have this? And have the developer go, well, you can't have this because of that. This doesn't work with that. Or, you know what? That's a good point. We should look into doing that, or whatever. Like, you don't have to put anybody on the spot. You can have the community management team, work for their stream and actually pull the stuff ahead of time, provide it to the dev, let the dev look at it and get an answer so they're not Johnny on the spot, and give a good answer. Use your community managers to manage the community, and use your company stream to provide information from the company. I know it seems silly, but I would rather see that than watch 5 people that play the game really badly play the game for an hour while they're talking to each other and ignoring us. Just my opinion. Let's go around the horn with this one. We're going to start with Down to Earth Astronomy on this one.
Yeah, I actually want to... I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with the company called Rockfish Game. They're the one that are developing Everspace. And they're a lot smaller company than Frontier, and they have at least one community manager that I know of. And I've been watching their streams, his streams sometimes. And what they do is, it's actually quite interesting. He gets, as they're developing, he gets like a dev build of the game. So he will sit there and he will play what for the players will be a future version of the game, and say, hey, these are some of the things that we're working on at the moment. This is a dev build. Obviously, there will be broken things. What do you guys think about this? And then he explains what they're doing and what they have done, and then people in the chat give feedback. And I think that is super valuable, because they can then take that feedback that players, as they saw it on screen, what they're going to do, and they can then take it back to the developers and say, hey, I showed this off on stream and people really liked that, and they really did not like that. Could we do something here? I know Frontier's not super happy about showing things before they're done. And also because they really want to have everything like stamped and approved before anything goes out. But I wish Frontier would do something similar like that, because it is the best way, as I think, to get feedback, because they can do write-ups and write forum posts and say, we're going to do this and this and that. But they can't write up a forum post about how they're going to make the UI unless they make like screenshot of it. But then why not just play around with it? And to be honest, a lot of the things, a lot of the feedback that they're getting, if they sat down and played with it for a couple of hours before they went out live on a stream with it, I think a lot of the things would be fixed before we even saw it. Because it's not like, I mean, anyone who spent more than 30 seconds in the new outfitting UI is going to think, is this really what we want to do?
Oh, no.
So I just think that would be a really nice approach if they would begin to do, hey, here's some future things we're actually going to sit and play. A future patch.
Beautiful. Roy, and then Wolf.
I wholeheartedly agree with the points that have been made to this point up to now on this. I think I won't retread that. What I have to add, I guess, would be, it's a big company. Companies measure things. It makes me wonder, how does FDev measure the success of the community team at large, and more specifically their streams? And is it working for them? With millions of accounts in Elite, is the percentage of players that are really invested in the forums and the content creator streams. For the people that are not part of that hardcore group, are the community management streams good enough? Is that what they're thinking? It kind of gets back to this point that, are we, like on this show and other content creators, part of a minority? And FDev is, yes, they're listening to this, but maybe they're also thinking about the other 11 million people, and those people have a different, threshold of satisfaction about what's going on. I don't know. I think, though, for the part of the community that is really invested, obviously a community manager stream of something that is unrelated to a major source of angst in the community comes across as tone deaf and inauthentic. And it's a wasted opportunity to work on building trust. I
mean, I would say that they said in their roadmap, they spent a whole paragraph saying, we know the way we're communicating with you is suboptimal, and we need to do a better job with that. Okay, it's nice to say stuff like that. Here's a concrete example of how you can fix it. So, fix it. Wolf.
So I got two things. One, just to follow up on yours with, hey, we got to work on being better at communicating, and then they're not really better at communicating. For a second, and it's a really short second, I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt in that it's going to take time for them to do that. Okay, got that. Fucking follow through, please. The other one, to follow up with what Down to Earth was saying, with them being very reluctant to show us things before they've got all the spit and polish and all the stamps and approvals on it. My immediate thought to that was, perfection is the enemy of done. Look, if you're going to give us something that's, say it's in work, say, we're thinking about going this way with it, what do you guys think? Okay, obviously it's not done yet. And maybe, since it's not done yet, if you have a huge outcry from people who don't like it, maybe you can fix it before it's in the game.
Good point. And Tweak to close it out.
Yeah, I don't know what they should do to make the streams better. I don't even really need to see great players play the game, quite honestly. When I go into Twitch streamers, I don't really go to watch them play the game. I go for the communities and the information, which is why I go to FDev streams. I want information. And in weeks like this, when the community is ablaze and they come in and they tee-hee and ha-ha and don't acknowledge anything, to me, it's absolutely insulting, and I tune right out. It's ridiculous that they can't read the community and adjust accordingly to me.